It'll be, the ladies' restroom will be out that door, to the left, and up the stairs. The men's restroom will be to the right, down the hall, and on the other side of the lobby. Now, in case of an emergency, you may use either exit, and just follow the exit sign. Would everyone please take out their cell phones? I would please ask you to sign these, so we can have as few interruptions as possible. Thank you. Now, if you look at your programs, you will see that we will have a brief intermission between Act 2 and Act 3. If you look on the back of your program, you will see that we are excited to announce our summer show this year will be The Wizard of Oz. Now, we have our Wizard of Oz free tickets.
All right. Is Brittany Liberacki? Is that all right? All right. And Melanie Lindgren? All right, come on up, Melanie. All right, and then I get to tell you a little bit about the history of the show, but first, a round of applause to Annabelle. You want me to say the announcements tonight? I'm like, sure, why not? So last year when we were doing the winter show, I was in Alleluia Girls, and while I was backstage, I was reading a book, The Best Plays from 1926, and I ran into this play. And I saw it was by P.G. Wodehouse, who was one of my heroes, and I was super excited. And so, in fact, if you look on stage, there's a few books by P.G. Wodehouse. Also, some of the music that you'll hear between numbers were lyrics written by P.G. Wodehouse. But a little bit about what was going on in 1926. So Charles Frohman Productions was a popular production company in New York. They put on hundreds of shows. But in 1926, Charles Frohman himself was not involved because he had died on the Lusitania. They continued to be in business, and in 1926, they opened their first show called The Captive. It did pretty well at first, but it was very controversial because it was about a maiden who was engaged to be married to Jacques, but she was in love with another maiden. Yes, she was a lesbian. And the governor of New York was worried because he was getting bad press for the things going on Broadway at the time. And so he had the theater raided. In fact, they hauled all the actors and the producers and the stagehands, hauled them off to jail, and they were sentenced to 10 days in a work camp. But the producer said, if we cancel the show, we let everyone go. And that's what they did. They canceled The Captive. People in The Captive were no longer captive, but they needed a new show. And that's when they heard that P.G. Wodehouse had done an adaptation of the Hungarian play, The Play's the Thing. It opened in its place. It was hugely popular. It was a smash success, ran the rest of the season, over 300 performances, and that's what we bring you tonight. So please join us on the Italian Riviera for The Play's the Thing.
Stop talking, Sandor. For 60 consecutive seconds, there's something wrong. What's on your mind, Sandor?
I was just thinking how extraordinarily difficult it is to begin a play. The eternal struggle of introducing your principal characters.
I suppose it must be hard.
Oh, it is devilishly hard. Up goes the curtain. A hush falls over the audience. Men walk out on stage, and then it's what? An eternity, a quarter of an hour, before anyone figures out who's who or who's doing what.
I never saw such a fellow. Can't you forget the theater for a single minute?
No, and that's why I'm such a great dramatist.
You can't be happy for half an hour unless you're talking shop. Life isn't all theater.
Oh, but it is, if you write plays. Do you know Reverend Alphonse Daudet memoirs? He was standing at his father's deathbed, and all he could think of would make for the stage.
It's silly to let your job become an obsession.
Well, that's the theater. Either you master it or it masters you. And of all the brain-racking things in the world, the beginning of a play is the worst. Take this scene, for example. We three, curtain goes up. 3 ordinary men in three ordinary dinner jackets. Well, how is anyone to know that we are sitting in a castle at this very moment? Or even who we are? If this were a play, we'd be jabbering on about uninteresting things to the accompaniment of slamming seats. All while the audience figures out who we even are.
Well, why not?
Well, think how much easier it would be if we just cut all that out and introduce ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We three have just arrived here for a period of rest and relaxation. We've just come from the dining room where we acquitted ourselves rather well with an excellent bottle of champagne. My name is Sandor Tarai, and I am a playwright. And I've been writing plays for 30 years, and I make a rather good thing of it. And of course I vow and leave the stage up to you. Go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mansky. I too am a playwright and this gentleman's lifelong collaborator. We are probably the best known firm in the business.
Come to Mansky and Tarai for all comedies, farces, and operettas.
Satisfaction guaranteed. I too make a very good thing out of it.
Which brings us
To the remaining member of the trio.
The last and least, I, ladies and gentlemen, am Albert Adam. I am 25 years old and I compose music.
very good music too.
I have done the score for the latest operetta by these two kind gentlemen. It was my first effort. They discovered me. They got me invited to this castle. Regardless of expense, they have purchased for me an entire wardrobe. Without them, I would be a complete non-entity. I have no parents, no reputation, no money,
But you're young.
And gifted.
and in love with the prima donna.
Don't tell them that. The audience expects the young composer to be in love with the prima donna. It's tradition.
Oh, thank heaven.
And isn't that the simplest way to begin a play?
Very crude. If that were all there was to it, any fool could write plays.
And a great many do. You see how absurd it is. All you have to do is...
All right. For heaven's sake, stop talking shop. I've had enough. Save it for tomorrow.
Well, perhaps you're right. It'd be nice to get a couple hours off for a change. It's wonderful, that car ride. Italy. All the year I look forward to these 2 weeks. A princely host in a house full of smart men. Just what like men like us need to inspire us. Moreover, there is nothing to worry about. The opera is finished, it's off our minds, and it is summer. The night is gorgeous. The weather is perfect, and the sea is... the sea. And the dinner was good. Yes, we must remember this day, August the 20th.
Friday.
What of it?
I wish it wasn't.
Don't be such an old woman.
No one ought to arrive anywhere on a Friday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Life's always wonderful.
My unlucky day is Tuesday. Among other things, you were born on a Tuesday.
Well, look at it for yourself. Here's today's little bag of bad luck. San Martino, midday, violent thunderstorm, followed by blowout, set us back an hour. Fierro, early afternoon, ran over dawn, surrounded by angry multitude, had to scatter money in every direction to keep from getting mobbed. More delay. We arrive here at 10 instead of 8, Friday. And when we arrive, who is out? Our princely host. Who else? Everyone. All gone off on a picnic. Friday. And the beautiful, the one and only, the most vitally important member of the whole house party, our adorable prima donna. Where is she? Also off on a picnic. Is she expected home tonight? No. When is she expected? No one knows. Friday.
She'll be back.
Well, that won't spoil Friday's record because it's Saturday now.
And I've got to wait a whole night before I see her. It's cruel.
Just Friday.
Well, the day's events. Friday, San Martino. A really capital luncheon with quite drinkable coffee. During the luncheon, a few passing drops of rain. The result, perfect roads, no dust. Piero early afternoon, and we injure a dog, and for a moment it looked like the local populace is going to injure us. But when last seen, the dog is miraculously recovered and sitting up and taking nourishment. And then, of course, a few judiciously distributed coins to the local populace, and they are our friends for life. To continue, we arrived some hours late, but what a stroke of luck that was. No one here to expect tired old men to make conversation. And then we are given to the finest dinner on a wonderful old Italian castle terrace with some of the finest curry chicken I've ever tasted.
I loathe curry.
And in conclusion, on this most magical Friday, the room next to this is among us.
What?
Yes, the beautiful, the one, the only, and having told with the maid, I have secured this week for ourselves. Friday comes through for you, for him, for us. We profit indirectly. When a composer is happy, he writes hit songs. When a prima donna is happy, she occasionally sings on key. And the Loretta's are there to collect the royalties from the resulting triumph.
Sort of prove you know poetry.
But I have balance in my bank, much more satisfactory. As for a lover being away, that's good luck too. Think it. She doesn't know we're here. It's night. The little darling sneaks into her little room. She sinks upon her little bed.
Why on earth must everything always be so little?
Why not?
Damn sentimentalism. I know the house well. She has a huge room and an enormous bed.
The point here, she doesn't know we're here. She doesn't know we brought her the finished script of the operetta. She doesn't know I'm going to sing her the waltz song from Act 2.
Heaven help her.
The world famous waltz. Well, it's not world famous yet, but it's bound to be after this infant genius has poured the treasure of his love into its soul.
Quiet. Never praise a composer. It unsettles him. You know it's after 3 a.m. I've been thinking and I have an idea.
Begin as love.
Let's go to bed. You can do any singing you want tomorrow. As for your infant genius with the lover-bewitched soul, he's asleep already.
I'm not.
Well, I have no issues with postponing the surprise. Suppose we wake her with the waltz.
If only she doesn't find out before.
Not a chance. I've impressed upon my friend, the maid, that we are not to be announced until tomorrow morning. She's very important, this maid. She practically runs this house.
Oh. Then I'm going to take a bath.
I don't follow your logic. What has the importance of the maid have to do with taking a bath?
Oh, Uncle, you know I hate logic.
You're really going to bathe at this hour? Yes, in the sea.
No, oh, in the tub. When you're tired and sleepy and looking forward to something particularly nice, it's wonderful to lie in lukewarm water with your eyes closed.
Well, here, infant, do as you please. When an artist is working, he must pamper himself. You've got to humor these composers. Did you ever know his grandmother?
I had not the pleasure.
She brought him up when his parents died, the littlest old woman you ever saw in your life.
Tiny, wasn't she?
And the very opposite of this dreamy boy, always coming, always going. And the reason he's remained such an unsophisticated babe, she not only mothered him, but smothered him with her love. She's like a little witch in a fairy tale, guarding a hidden treasure. I'll never forget the first day she brought him up to me.
My goodness, I was scared that day.
So was I. This little half-portion of a woman fixed me with blazing eyes and said, "This boy is a genius! You must hear his word!" And his mother, well, she was a beautiful, gentle woman.
I hardly remember her.
I can see her very clearly. Still, you're going to skip all the anxieties most young men have when they're coming up. You've got a very clever man behind you pushing you on.
2 clever men.
2! 2! Very well. So go away and have your bath and sleep and dream and love. Happiness will make your music all the sweeter.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, encouraging him to be a dreamer. He should be learning by this time that life isn't all music and roses and happiness.
Why be in such a hurry to teach him that?
I'm not in a hurry.
Then why must he be in such a hurry to learn it?
Is this my room?
I should say so. Have you forgotten who's about to be on the other side of this wall?
I should say I haven't.
It's a rather good situation, too. Lovers, separated by a wall, just like Pyramus and Thisbe. What was that speech of Pyramus? Ah. And thou, O wall, O sweet wall, O lovely wall, O wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss.
Shop, again, always shop.
And what about you two?
Oh, we're fine. Our room is on the other side of yours.
You're sharing a room then?
Of course. Real collaborators never separate for even a moment. The most priceless ideas may be lost forever. I am told I save my best things in my sleep. Mansky is a light sleeper and wakes up and jots them down.
I think I'm going to like this place. Well, gentlemen, before I go, one last word. I'm very fond of both of you. I'm finding life very beautiful. I'm very, very happy.
Which startling utterance calls for a glass of very old brandy.
Make it two.
You know, it's nice to see the boy so happy. Now that I'm on the shady side of 50, I find myself full of parental affection and no one to lavish upon. Oh, his mother was a beautiful, gentle woman. You know, they're still dancing down there on the hotel terrace. Put spotlights on the dancers, colored lights in the water, a little blue backdrop in the sky. Why not make for a bad finale for Act 1? Yes, I'm starting to think the boy is right, and life is beautiful.
Sandor,
Yes?
I didn't like to tell you before, but it really belongs to Friday, too.
Tell me what.
Something rather unpleasant, a little piece of news. Rather unpleasant.
You're a rather weird chap. Just as a man is feeling happiness for 5 minutes, you've got to come and suck the joy out of life.
It concerns you, too. It's rather unpleasant.
Well, go on. Ruin my evening, old friend. What is it?
I was looking in the visitor's book downstairs and I saw a certain name. Yes, it is rather unpleasant.
Well, don't just sit there making my flesh creep. Whose name did you see in the visitor's book?
Almighty.
The actor.
Yes.
He's here.
He is.
This is, as you say, rather unpleasant.
You realize what this means?
It means you're thoroughly happy.
Not at all. I may be a pessimist, but unfortunately am a tender-hearted pessimist. When I'm proved right, I do not enjoy the fact. The fact is that Mr. Almighty is here.
But how? Why? He hasn't been invited here for years. I was always made to understand he took his vacations fishing at Lake Balaton with his family.
Well, I suppose he fished for an invitation. He probably had his reasons.
Does the boy know anything about all that?
He hasn't an inkling of the part Mr. Almighty has played in his fiancée's life.
Well, it wasn't so much of a part. I mean, what did it amount to? When she was coming up, he gave her lessons in voice production, and then it was as all things are, the romantic leading actor, and the little beautiful. Besides, that was all over and done with after a couple of months.
Apparently it is not over and done with.
Wrong, because by pure chance, they happened to be in the same castle.
It isn't pure chance, it's impure intention. Use your intelligence, man. Alona was Almighty's discovery. He taught her all she knows.
She's far too intelligent for all that. Besides, she's engaged to be married and in love. And you know how passionate an actress can be when they're engaged to be married. Of course, I have to say that I'm not remarkably pleased about the match, but if it makes the boy happy, that's my main thing. She's got too much sense in all that. A worn-out, elderly actor, a father of a family with 4 children. She's got too much sense.
I never said a word about that. I merely said that I had seen his name in the visitor's book. That means he is staying here. Is that pleasant? No, it is
Rather unpleasant.
That's all I said. I now say something more. We ought to have wired Alona that we were coming tonight.
Very well. You're right. Always wire a woman in plenty of time. In my longest life, I've had plenty of occasions to surprise a woman. And on each and every one, I have been the one who was surprised. I'm starting to take the telegram as invented for no other reason than a woman should not be surprised. Come in. What do you want?
What do you want, sir? You rang the bell, sir.
Yes, the convent.
Any particular brand, sir?
Do me a favor, old man, and keep Albert talking for a few minutes. I need to have a few words with the maid.
Don't drink both the brandies.
What's your name?
Mine, sir?
Yes, yours.
Johanna Dornicek.
Johanna.
Dornicek.
Age.
32, sir.
Born.
Yes, sir.
I should have said where were you born?
In Pomorki, Czechoslovakia.
Nice place.
No, sir.
Married.
Yes, sir.
Husband still living.
In a sense.
I beg your pardon.
He ran away with a seamstress 2 years ago. Thank you, sir.
Don't make me think the seamstress. You're new here, I think.
Yes, sir.
When did you arrive?
Last summer, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. You've been very patient answering my question.
Excuse me, sir. Would it be taking a liberty if I inquired as to
Why I'm asking all of these questions? Not at all. You will find out soon enough. Now, Johanna Dornicek, here are more questions for you. The room next door to us, that was Miss Alona's Alpha.
Yes, sir.
Has she been gone long?
Well, I have not seen her come in,
Did
sir.
you see her go out?
Yes, sir. They left around 6 o'clock this afternoon.
They who?
The entire house party, including the master. They were headed to San Pietro, I think, sir.
Is that all?
The guests would take them there in about an hour and a half. 26 persons in all. Supper served on board. A nice cold collation, sir.
When do you expect them back?
Well, sir, they took a considerable quantity of liquor with them.
Well, the question I'm asking is, when do you expect them back?
Well, that is the question that I am answering. Hardly before tomorrow morning at the earliest.
I see. And who's in this party?
Well, the core, or the center of it, if I may use the expression.
Certainly, you may use the expression. It's a beautiful expression.
Thank you, sir. The core, or the center of it, is an American family, distant relatives of the master. Every time a holiday comes around, they insist on a picnic.
What holiday is today?
I don't know, sir. They have 2 every week here. They always insist at going out at night to the big yacht. They're wild about the young lady. She sings for them on the yacht, with the yodelers.
They have yodelers too.
Yes, sir. 4 yodelers from the hotel, although they're not much good. No, a yodeler's not at his best on the water. A yodeler needs solid ground.
Solid ground. Yes, of course. Well, passing over the subject of yodelers for a moment, if you don't mind.
Oh, no.
Passing lightly over the subject of yodelers, do you know Mr. Almaty?
Oh, yes, sir. I know Mr. Almaty. I know Mr. Almaty quite well. He has been here 3 days.
It's the nights I'm worried about. He's here in the castle.
Yes, sir. In the old wing facing the park.
And that's on this floor.
Yes, sir.
And he's one of the yachting party, you say?
Yes, sir. Along with the young lady.
What do you mean along with the young lady?
Well, he escorted her onto the boat. They're, you might say, sort of partners.
What do you mean partners?
Well, like working together, you know, partners.
I see, you mean partners.
Yes, partners.
Huh.
He gives recitations on the boat.
How do you know that?
They took me with them last Tuesday.
Tuesday? It would be a Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
I see now. Now the cognac.
Yes, sir, but I'd rather think that it's the young lady.
Tis she. Never mind the cognac. Champagne is clearly called for, my favorite brand. Mum's Cordon Rouge. See that ice? That look sharp, Johanna.
Well, should I bring it here?
Of course.
Consider it done.
No time for baths now. She's here.
What do you mean by this singing? Huh? I think you're doing it just to annoy me. You're trying to torture me.
No, that's pretty cool to come walking into my bedroom at this hour.
I came with you.
Tis she. Wake up, Nancy. Tis she.
Have you any idea of the hour? I'm sure
made you? I with whom you have spent so many hours of madness. Wonderful, unforgettable.
Not unforgettable at all. Watch how quickly I'm going to forget them. Do go away and leave me alone. Don't touch me. Stop. I won't let you kiss me. Can't you understand my fiancé will be here any day now?
I'll kill him.
No time for that. I've already ordered the champagne.
You can't touch that. Oh, stop crying. The idea, a grown-up man, the father of a family, with 4 children.
But I love you so, Ilona. And you throw me away for another man? Oh, well, don't you love me still? Just a little.
You're nothing but a great big baby. Cheer up, dude. That's better. All right then, you may kiss me. What are you doing? Don't take off your coat.
Now, put on your coat. We must look respectable to say hello to your lady.
I must. I want to say goodbye.
Well, you don't need to say it in your shirt sleeves. Now run away and let me get to sleep. I'm worn out.
I'm only waiting until you're in bed. Have you anything to drink around here?
You'll find it in the anteroom.
Oh.
Take the whole bottle if you want to, but go. Look at the sideboard and stay where you are till I've got my nightie on. Don't come in and don't look.
It's gone to bed. Hush, 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 hush.
You don't think she's asleep already?
I doubt it. Now, face it to the wall as close as you can. Ready? Now. Ilona. Take time for me.
I worship you, I adore you.
Are you starting all over again?
Yes, I am. All over again. I love you as a church steeple lost in cloud that sounds above it and floats away with the first passing breeze. Oh, I can't go on living without you. Not a week, not a day, not an hour.
Just words.
It's the truth. I'm crazy about you. And you have used me up and then squeezed me like a lemon. And now you want to throw me away.
I don't want to throw you away, silly. Where's the sense in raving like this? Oh, come on then. Come here and let me kiss that beautiful classic brow.
She said... Did you hear what she said?
That's not a kiss. That's nothing but a paltry tip.
Don't shout like
I
that.
will shout. I will live. And now the whole world shall know that I am living.
Get on your knees. And oh, please, do stop crying. I can't bear it. You know how fond I am of you.
Those nights of love, those flaming, wonderful nights. Have you forgotten them so completely?
That's Almighty.
You can't be sure.
Stop. Control yourself, Almighty.
You asked me to control myself when I look at that. Oh, with that perfect shape. Oh, the rose flush of that skin.
Hands off.
Oh, how round it is. How smooth. How velvety. And how fragrant.
Don't bite.
I must. I'm so hungry.
Let's get you out of here, old man.
And I thought she was a Madonna. Holding her in his arms. Stroking.
Oh, well,
I could kill him.
Steady, old man. Steady.
I see I have nothing to do anymore.
Oh, for goodness sake. I swear that no man has ever meant so much to me as you. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet, you are a man. Who should know that better than I?
Come. You'll sleep in our room tonight.
Come on, old chap. Let's get you out of this.
Sleep.
Oh, don't look so pathetic. Well, come here. Kiss me.
I was right. I told you we ought to have sent a telegram.
I want you to remember that kiss forever.
Oh, it was your old kiss. Sweet and burning, like hot touch. But do me a dear
to bed now. Farewell, dear heart. But grant me one last kiss.
Damn all fools who don't know when they've had enough.
Go now.
So be it. Good night, dear heart.
Good night, you baby.
At last, good night, dear heart.
This silence, what does it mean?
This silence is a highly moral silence. The baritone hero has departed, and the fair heroine has deposited herself in bed.
After depositing us in the worst mess of my whole experience. Oh, wasn't it awful?
Oh,
Smooth, round, fragrant, and you wanted to buy. Oh my.
10 minutes ago, we three were happy men, and now I can't look at that poor boy in his face.
Poor little Pyramus. A jolly wall, that, isn't it? Church steeple. Lemon, the damn fool.
If his grandmother here, she'd be whipping me about with her broomstick.
It's certainly the most appalling mess. You got it through your pull with the maid. Oh, marvelous luck. Oh, Pyramus and Thisbe. Oh, sweet fall. Well, I hope you're satisfied.
Oh, to the devil.
I don't want to be unkind, but whichever way you look at this, you're responsible for the catastrophe. Why the deuce was it necessary to put the boy next door to his lady love? Friendship is friendship, but there are limits.
I was merely trying to be sympathetic and helpful. I meant well.
Never mean well. It's fatal. See what's happened as a result? Bride gone. Love gone. Operetta gone. All a total loss. On the other hand, the dog didn't die and the coffee was good. Well, Friday has certainly made a nice, clean, efficient job of it this time.
It's Saturday, remember? Besides, I'm only thinking about the boy.
I'm also thinking about our operetta. The Lady Kissed the Lemons classic crowd. After this, can you see her playing the part?
Do stop jabbering on about all that. I'm only thinking about the boy. Did he say anything?
Plenty. I wish I hadn't heard.
What did he say?
He took it all right. One of his remarks was, I'll tear up the score and kill Nona, the round and fragrant one. And the problem that presents itself to me is this. If he tears up his music and kills the prima donna, what sort of a first night shall we have?
Oh, we'll have a first night. I promise you that.
What, after all this?
After all this, we'll have a first night.
With what music?
With that music, that composer, and that prima donna, and I'll tell you some other things. We'll have a hit, a happy ending, and a wedding.
Well, of all the optimists. It's just a suggestion, but wouldn't it be a good idea if you were to mention what it is you propose to do? This is where Sandor Tarai, famous for his happy endings, had better try to surpass himself. Get busy, my playwriting genius, and let's see how good you are.
One can do but one's best. Well, how is he?
Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. He didn't even answer my question.
What did you ask him?
I said, feeling better?
What sort of an answer did you expect with a damn fool question like that?
Well, have you solved the problem?
If I have, I'm not going to tell you. You've ruined enough of my ideas with your collaboration. All I ask of you is a little information.
That's all I'm good for, is it?
That's all. Now, where are Mr. Almighty's wife and children now?
At Lake Balaton, I believe.
Lake Balaton, address?
Verona Cottage.
Verona Cottage. And what is Alona's mother's name?
Adele Alma something.
Something with an A.
Yes, I know that.
And address?
70 Elizabeth Avenue, Fouray.
And would she be there now?
How should I know? But listen, my own humble suggestion, is that we wake her up now and have a little chat.
What about?
I'll rout her out.
Oh, heaven's sake, no, no, no. What could she say? Deny everything? Perhaps gloss over that mad, sensual outburst of her. Perhaps she might say it was nice to forbid the man to fight. No, I can't see where denials come in.
Oh, women have lots of other tricks. Falling on their knees, fainting, bursting into tears, laughing hysterically, or just going rigid all over.
Well, that might be good enough for you, or I, but when you're a middle-aged dramatist, you welcome the chance to do the noble, forgiving thing. It's good theater. But that boy in there is 25 and he's an idiot. So they can get.
Then there's no solution to the problem.
Oh, there's always a solution. One only has to find it.
By Jove! Rather a good line, that.
Not bad, not bad. Jot it down. And now, the most important thing. Sit by his side till he falls asleep. Be very tactful.
Oh, he won't sleep tonight.
Then we must give him something to make him. Tomorrow is a very big day. One false step and he'll be at the center of a record scandal. It would break his heart.
And our success. Capacity business. A year's run.
Beastly words.
And yet only yesterday, how beautiful they sounded.
Go away. I shall take on this job. Put your faith in me and place it on past experience, which shows the moment you stop trying to help me, I can solve anything.
Thank you, my dear fellow.
Not at all.
Good night.
Good night. I've enjoyed about this little chat of ours. Stay by his side till he falls asleep. That's official. Good night.
Good night.
Come in.
The champagne, sir! Mum's cordon rouge, just as you ordered.
Yes, but that was such a long time ago. And the world has changed such a great deal since then. But the motto of Shiraz is to never refuse champagne. So put it down.
Will 4 glasses be sufficient, sir?
3 more than sufficient.
Something in the expression of your eye tells me that you are trying to remember my name.
What? Right. What is it?
Dvornicek.
Still Dvornicek.
Yes.
Very well, Dvornicek. You may go to bed. But I should like some writing materials. A few blank telegrams and also a pen.
Yes, sir. The writing materials in the library, but I can bring them to you here. Is there anything in particular that you would like for breakfast?
No, just cold ham, smoked turkey, bacon, buttermilk, honey jam, rolls, and tea.
With lemon?
No! No! With rum.
Of course, sir. At what hour would you like breakfast?
What time is it now?
It's 4:15 a.m.
Let's say 6 a.m.?
Very well, sir.
My dear Mrs. Dvornicek, I must ask, when do you sleep?
In the winter, sir.
had a chance to read it already.
Of course.
Is there anything about me in it?
No.
Then take it away.
Let's see. I believe it was ham, eggs, cold chicken, smoked salmon, cold beef, bacon, buttermilk, honey, jam, and rolls that you ordered, was it not?
Right.
And tea with lemon.
No! Not lemon!
There's rum or cognac if you prefer.
Pardon my emotion, I loathe lemons.
Yes, sir. Many people do. In fact, I had an aunt who's
As
so...
stimulating as this conversation may be, suppose we don't talk about your aunt for just a moment.
Of course, sir. But you're wrong.
Oh, now.
My aunt, she isn't very stimulating. In fact, it was really my uncle.
Let's
who
not
said-
talk about him either.
Suit yourself.
One must make allowances for the artistic temperament. When I've been up all night writing, I somehow don't have the vein for discussing other people's aunts. You understand, of course.
Of course, sir.
But you really are wonderful. How did you manage to not forget a single thing?
It was a labor of love, sir. My heart is in that breakfast.
Your heart, too. That was life to a man. Hello, would you give me Miss Alona Zano's room, please?
Yes?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's that?
The unfeeling brute who has aroused you from your slumber is known to the police as Sandor Turai.
Sandor! Dear old Sandor!
Well, and how's the prima donna?
Where are you calling from?
Next door.
What?
Yes, I thought that would surprise you. I'm next door.
How on earth?
Let's postpone the explanations for just a moment. I would like to see you at once.
What is it? You're frightening me.
Don't be alarmed. Just come and see me this minute.
This minute?
This very minute.
What?
Put something on and open this door.
Do what? I can't hear you very well.
Any-
There must be something wrong with the telephone.
Open this door and put something on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you beautifully now.
Good.
I'll be right in. Sandor! What is it? I feel something terrible has happened. What's the matter? When did you get here?
Sit down, my dear. You and I have got to do some quick talking.
Why? What's the matter?
Sit down.
Why?
Because if you don't sit down now, you'll sit down later on when you hear what I have to say, and you'll sit down hard. Better do it gracefully while you can.
I don't understand.
You will, my dear Lulu. Now, despite the fact that you are engaged to my young friend Alice, you are carrying on an affair with Mr. Almighty.
It's an outrageous lie!
Good! I thought you were going to say it was none of my business.
Well, I couldn't say that. You're Albert's guardian, guide, philosopher, and friend, and heaven knows what else. And you are a friend of mine, and you write plays for me, so I simply say that it's a lie.
Well, I'm glad that you do, because it's an observation which I can answer. I've been in this room since last night, and the walls in this new wing are as thin as paper.
No!
Lemon. Lemon. Church. Steeple. Well, dear Alona, suppose we talk this out.
What have you heard? Then you heard what I said too.
Every word.
Then you heard. I told him to get out, and he's getting out today at 12 o'clock. Oh, so if you don't say anything, and of course you won't.
Not so fast, my dear Alona. If it were as simple as that, you have never known from me that I overheard you last night. I regret to say that matters are much more unpleasant.
No, you don't mean.
I see that you guess.
Did he? I can't.
Then I will say it for you. Yes, the boy did hear.
Adam, he's here then?
He's here.
Where?
He's up in Mansky's room, asleep. And last night he was in this room. Oh, wait.
Take Baronal, all there is in my bottle.
That's not enough.
10 ounces.
I was not referring to the Baronal. I meant suicide is no solution.
Well, there isn't any solution that I could survive. There are only 2 things I could possibly do. Kill myself. Or deny the whole story.
Do you imagine if it was a matter of telling lies, I would not have told them myself a long time ago?
Then we come back to the Baronal.
Exactly. We come back to the Baronal and find it safely tucked away in its bottle.
Well, what do you suggest?
I have my plan, and all that I ask is not to hinder it.
You know that I worship Albert. If anybody knows that, you do. I've been a different woman since I met him. He looks on me as a saint. And he's right. I turned into a saint when I started to love him. It's the only thing I've ever wanted in life, to be straight. For his sake, I was so happy. I love him so.
And yet, you can't stay true to him.
You've no right to say that. It was nothing but my damn sentimentality. Well, you know that affair with that beast Almighty didn't last but a couple of months. First he gave me breathing lessons, and then he taught me how to throw my voice.
Oh, yes, he taught you that, all right.
Well, I'm just a victim of my kind heart. I thought I was rid of him, but then he got himself invited here. And he's always bursting into tears. A woman hates to see a man cry. He stuck to me like a leech. Oh, but Sandra, why would I go in with him again? I give you my word. That last night was simply like the last dying vibrations of a high note.
You'd have done a lot better to stop vibrating a little earlier, my dear. Still, here we are, and all there is to get you out of this mess.
Well, what do you suggest? Do you really think you can?
Oh, yes, I can, but don't think I'm doing it for your sake, my dear, not for the sake of your beautiful eyes.
Oh.
You should be drawn and quartered. I'm doing it for that poor boy up there who still has some sense of ideals in this unpleasant world. My dear Alumna, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Don't worry, I am. What can I do?
I'm just going to tell you, and you're not going to like it. But good medicine is rarely pleasant. Now, what is the number to Mr. Almighty?
Oh, what do you want with him?
Hello. Give me Mr. Almighty's room, please. Never mind the instructions he left. Go right on ringing until he answers. It's a matter of life and death.
What do you mean?
Hello, Mr. Almighty. Yes. Would you stop talking, please? Yes, this is Sandro Tarai speaking. Last night, my father. Yes, room number 4. Would you come in here? Well, yes, I did say a matter of life and death, but I'm afraid I spoke into error. What I meant to say was a matter of death. Yes, it's very good. And where are you off to?
Well, if I'm always coming here.
You will kindly stay just where you are.
He looked on me as a saint. He thought I was everything that was fine and pure. He called me his Madonna.
You should have thought of that a long time ago.
Please tell me, what did Albert say?
Oh, I wouldn't ask that if I were you.
Please, what was that plan you said you had? Well, can't you speak?
Patience.
It's too cruel. Just because I hate hurting people's feelings.
Come in.
Good morning. Hello. Oh, you were here.
She's here.
Well, what's the matter? Has something happened?
Oh, do sit down.
Oh, he'll sit down in just a moment. I'm not worried about his sitting down.
Well, you will forgive me if I seem a bit nervous.
Glass of brandy.
Oh, thank you. Oh, never in the morning.
Mr. Almighty, you are a married man and the father of a family. And yet you are forcing your affections on another man's fiancée.
It's an outrageous lie!
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was none of my business. And you would have been quite right. What a lie, I'm afraid. That won't do.
Allow me to inform you...
Shut up!
Shut up!
You see, I told you he'd sit down. Quite right. It's thin as paper.
No, try between two gentlemen.
I beg your pardon.
As one gentleman to another, I ask your discretion.
Sit down.
Why, is there something else coming?
Yes. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Good. Now, last night I wasn't the only one in this room. Her fiancé was here with me, and his hearing is excellent.
Brandy!
In the morning!
I always take it in the morning.
Well, what are you going to do now, you miserable idiot? You see what you've done? You have driven me to suicide. I can't go on. I shall die. I shall die.
I'll die with you. We shall die like Romeo and Juliet.
But I don't want to die with you. I'm going to die alone. Besides, I don't like Shakespeare.
I'm ready to give him satisfaction.
Now, this is the last straw. You are going to do exactly as I ordered.
Order!
Sit down!
Very well.
No matter how much you rant.
Rants! You care to criticize my dick? Sean!
Oh, damn your diction. Just believe your lucky stars are going to get you out of this mess at all. A married man, a father of a family with 4 little letters.
Mr. Tobias!
One more word from you, and this letter already written goes off to your mind.
Oh, don't look at the wall. Look at him. Last night was the time for that.
Yeah. Now, last night, something occurred.
Yes, we know what occurred.
That is just what you don't know, which I am now going to tell you. Last night was the rehearsal of a play. Do you grasp my meaning?
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Now, how do you mean the rehearsal of a play?
Your very loud remarks, so loud they penetrated the wall. Will be a dialogue from a play. Now, do you understand?
I do. Don't you? Idiot. Sandor, it's a wonderful, marvelous idea. Oh,
What's the matter now?
he'll never believe it.
Why wouldn't he believe it?
Where on earth is there a play with lines in it like those?
Where? Here.
What do you mean?
Here's the play. This is it.
Well, who wrote it?
I did. Hey, don't look at me with those startled eyes. Rather ask when I wrote it.
When could you have written it?
This morning, between the hours of 4 and 6, because after all, one is a playwright or one isn't. The first half I wrote through what I heard through the wall. The other half I wrote to fit. One has the weapons they are given in this life, and mine is the pen, which I'm hoping is considerably mightier than the sword. I feel like an acrobat this morning, who had a chance to use his skills to save a life. I don't suppose any play has ever yet been written with such altruistic motives. There it is. Read it. Learn it. Play it.
Play it.
Well, naturally, you must play it. How else would they believe it's dialogue from a play? Dress rehearsal this evening, opening tonight.
Oh, tonight? Oh, but when?
At the dinner, after concert, of course. You're already down there for something or another.
Oh, yes, a couple of songs. He's to recite some poems.
Then there'll be a slight change in the program. A one-act play.
Oh, but how on earth am I supposed to learn all of these lines by tonight?
Well, really, last night you knew them well enough. What's the matter with you?
Oh, no, that was a sigh of relief. Do you know my wife?
I do. Didn't I say it was a matter of death?
Yes, how can I ever thank you?
Don't bother to try. Unfortunately, my life-saving apparatus is so constructed that you must also be saved as well.
Listen, why on earth would we have been rehearsing at 3 in the morning?
That is just what I asked myself. And of course, I answered myself. You had lost a lot of time on that picnic. So conscientious were you that you had to play the thing tonight, even though it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we better get started studying. I'm a very slow study.
One moment, and don't get too excited. Who's supposed to be running this little concert about?
The Count's secretary, Miss Mel.
We must notify her of a change in the program.
She'll be fast asleep.
Not after this bell has rung once or twice. Hello, give me Miss Milton, please. There we are. Ladies first.
very early, isn't it?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How did you sleep?
I can't say that. The woman's furious.
Use your own judgment then.
Miss Mel, I'm dreadfully sorry to wake you at this hour, but I wanted to tell you about a little change in the program tonight. Well, I'm sure the Count will be pleased. I'm sure you will be pleased. I'm sure the audience will be pleased.
Unanimous.
Instead of playing alone, I'm going to appear with Mr. Almaty. Yes, Mr. Almaty. In an extremely witty, charming,
Brilliant.
world class little dialogue. What kind of play is it?
French.
French. Who wrote it?
Garaldi.
Garaldi. Oh, isn't that nice?
What's nice?
She says she knows every line Garaldi ever wrote.
Then it's by Sardou.
Oh, no, sorry, I was just looking at the script again. It's not by Girardi, it's by Sardou.
The great Sardou.
The great Sardou.
How's she up on her Sardou?
She says the only thing she knows about Sardou is Hedda Gabler.
Then that's the woman for us.
That's the woman for
No,
us.
that's confidential.
Oh, Miss Mel, you've been so sweet. Of course we wouldn't dream of having anybody but you as the prompter. What's the title?
A tooth for a tooth.
A truth for
Tooth!
a tooth for a tooth. Yes, isn't it? Quite snappy. Yeah. Goodbye. Why the French piece?
Merely to ensure that no one has ever read it. That's the beauty of French literature. There's such a lot of it. And besides, one has one's conscience. I've stolen so much from the French that it's only right that I give something back for a change. And now that everything seems in hand again, I say to you with all emphasis at my disposal, get out. Go and study your part, and so that no one will recognize my handwriting, you've got to copy out the script. All of it, from beginning to end.
You think of everything.
Unlike a certain southern fruit.
Oh, but this isn't right. You had me say, your kiss is revolting to me. What I actually said was...
That was your old kiss, sweet and burning like hot punch. I know. My memory is excellent. Unfortunately, we got the boy out of there before you got that far.
May I be permitted to inquire why my kiss should be described as revolting?
That occurs in the second part of the play, where I was relying upon my native inspiration.
When you call my kiss revolting, I wish to know why.
I am the author of this play, and that is my opinion of your kiss.
Well, I do think you could have warned us. Why did you call for something?
Suppose I had, my dear Alona, you forget that your very first word left little to misinterpretation. If I had done so, I could not have averted this tragedy.
What a brain.
You flatter me.
No, he's right for once. Did you think of this idea the moment you heard us?
No, I got it from you.
From us?
Yes, stupid of me, I admit. I always think the best of my fellow men, and for a moment I did think you were really acting. Later on, I realized my mistake.
Oh, you thought you were acting. Why?
Because it sounded so artificial. I refer, of course, to the more erotic passages.
Well, it's no wonder, considering I don't care one bit for the man.
What's that?
You heard me.
You don't love me?
No.
So you were lying?
Yes.
Just to get rid of me?
Yes, I hate the sight of you.
Sir.
I'd like to murder you.
Mr. Almaty, this is the thing. If you want to cry all over someone, cry all over me. I like it. It's like a tonic to me.
So what made you realize you were not acting?
The disgusting, sloppy way you kept carrying on. No mortal living would put such slush like that in the mouth of an actor who was supposed to be making love.
Sloppy.
Beyond words.
Allow me to inform you.
Shut up!
Very well.
Now, my friends will be here any moment. This is a part here you will have to study rather well.
Which?
This loathsome series of speeches we overheard last night, from here to here.
Odd, I hardly remember.
I do, and nor is your fiancé likely to have forgotten.
I worship you, I adore you. I I love you as the church steeple loves the cloud that settles upon its summit. Just words.
You have used me up and squeezed me like a lemon.
Yes, I remember now.
It's all there, word for word.
Yes, underlined in red in 3 pages here from page 16. It goes on.
Come here, let me kiss your beautiful, classy brow.
And then this is the worst bit here, this mad outburst of sensuality. When I look upon that perfect shape, the rose flush of that skin just too stroking.
Yes, but I
know. Heavens, oh, he said, but he couldn't have obeyed, for he says, my heavens, how round it is, how smooth, how velvety. And I'm afraid he must have gotten quite close indeed, for he adds, and how fragrant.
That's right. Yes, quite right, it was fragrant.
Yes, but I
No, my dear, you did not. There was a period of complete silence until you exclaimed, you mustn't bother it. Yes, you both should be ashamed of yourselves. Now, if you've ever studied part in your lives, study these. Dress rehearsal this evening, opening tonight, and now.
out we go, eh?
You took the words right out of my mouth. And don't forget, we've not seen each other for 3 whole months.
3 whole months.
A colossal brain.
I thank you.
Have you been up long?
I couldn't sleep. How's our infant?
Woke up a moment ago. I left him dressed. You had breakfast yet? Not a mouthful. Come and touch it. You seem to have no difficulty in putting it away.
One must keep up one's strength.
I'm amazed, and if I may say so, a little shocked, sitting there gorging as if nothing had happened. Can't you realize we're absolutely ruined? I'm positively ill thinking about it.
Shall I let you into a little secret, Mansky?
Yes, tell me.
I am a man who weighs his words. I do not speak lightly. And so I say to you, solemnly, my friend, that this is the best piece of ham I've ever tasted. Juicy, nutty, positively good. Did the boy sleep at all?
He dropped off about daylight out of sheer exhaustion. I'm pale.
Did he say anything?
Not a word, just stared at the ceiling. You know that's bad.
Ceilings aren't so bad, walls are much worse.
What I can't understand is why a magnificent place like this should have walls like tissue paper.
These are deep waters,
Do stop eating.
but I haven't finished yet.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm pale.
It suits you. Intellectual pallor.
What about that solution you were hinting at last night?
I hit upon them all in the night watches while you lay snoring in your bed. Oh, yes. I heard you while I was changing my clothes. Telegrams, letters, already written, but finally I hit upon the best and most simplest plan.
Which is?
I'm going to do everything I can to make them break with her.
What for?
Because that's the surest way of getting them back together. If he casts her off in 2 weeks, he'll be throwing himself at her feet, and she will allow herself to melt. And then he will coax a little more, and she will melt a little more, and then finally they will fall together in a lover's slow embrace.
You thought of that in the night, didn't you?
I did.
All by yourself.
Oh, my.
Well, I've noticed all this past year that you've been slipping. Our last show died to death simply because you would write psychology into it. Now, you've become simply driveling. It's a great shock to me. Do you know what's happening? Little by little, you're beginning to think, and that spells ruin for both of us. Haven't you grasped yet what a frightful knockdown blow last night's affair was to that boy?
Well, really, I can't agree enough. Hello? Not even a good morning.
Good morning.
Had breakfast?
No,
Sleep?
no.
Nah, nor did I. And no, nothing from there, not another sound. He departed and she went to bed, and I didn't on your account. Hello? Appetite picking up.
No, it's no good. I can't swallow. Too nervous. I'm a wreck.
Try the ham.
Uncle Sandor, I don't want to be a burden to you two any longer. Now that my life has been blown to bits.
Oh, come.
I mean it. I know what I'm talking about. There's a great crack in my heart, and
We've had enough for that talk last night. Come here, sit down, and tell me just what it is you want to do.
before anything else, I want to get away from this place.
Quite reasonable, and then
I'll tear up the music I wrote for you. I'll tear it up into little bits and burn it.
Right, and after that?
Don't be so casual. You know I've no one else in the world but you. You too. If it hadn't been for you, I'd have ended things long ago.
That's right. Heck of it.
No, it's no good. Absolutely can't swallow. I'm a very sick man.
You see, I'm to blame for that.
Come here and sit down. What has happened has happened. It's over and done with, and think of the past. And I'm going to tell you now something that no young person will ever believe. You're 25. You're gifted. The whole world is at your feet. And let me remind you, Michael, that there is a great many million women out there, I feel.
What good are they to me? I only wanted this one. Look, can we please get away from here at once? I won't see her.
Oh, yes, you will. No scandals, if you please. She arrived here late last night, and everyone knows she's your fiancée. Now, in the course of the morning, we will go to her, we will pay our respects, and pretend as if nothing had happened. Now, I know it will hurt. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but today you are a man.
Yes, you're right.
Up with the head, out with the chin, and damn everybody, that's the start. Now, day after tomorrow, you may write her a letter and go on as much as you like, but do not forget, you are done with that woman forever.
All right, then. If it should hurt too much, don't be afraid, I'll go back to her. I'll always have enough pluck to put a bullet in my head.
Oh, there! See where you got us to with your psychology.
What is with young artists that wanted to end everything? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right, look. That was nonsense, and I'm sorry for saying that just now. You won't be let down, and you shall be satisfied with me.
Good. Then you won't tear anything up.
No, and you'll behave towards Alona as if nothing had happened.
Yes, honor bright.
I'm satisfied.
It's an enormous relief to me to see you getting hold of yourself against some cabinet. Yes, indeed, an enormous relief. I really feel a little better.
I'm proud of you. Haven't you finished your breakfast yet?
I think I can swallow.
So I noticed.
Come and join me, my boy. You'll find your appetite steals back little by little. He's suffering. He can't get over it.
Let's try to make him.
Come on, my boy. Just a mouthful. Try a little of this excellent ham.
I don't want any ham.
Well, a slice of chicken then, and some nice hot tea with a drop of brandy.
All right.
Well, what's on your mind?
trying to cheer me up. You're not going to become depressed yourself, are you?
You know what I think's the matter with him? He's got another one of his
You win. Another problem.
theater.
As always.
Can't you drop it?
No. Just when we arrived here last night, I was worrying about how hard it is to begin a play. And now I'm worrying about how hard it is to end a second act.
Oh, come and eat your breakfast.
I mean it. It really worried me. Take this scene, for example. We arrived here last night, perfectly happy, and found ourselves in a bit of a jolt, a ghastly disillusionment. Now, we got ourselves in hand again and surviving it. But suppose that this were not the real world, but a stage. Suppose that this were not a real room, but a painted set. Suppose that we were actors who had gone through the experiences we had just gone through.
Well,
How was it ended?
my dear fellow, it's ended already.
Well, in a way, yes, but don't forget before the curtain actually falls, you need a new note of suspense. A punch, both, if you can manage it. It's just what is implied in that word curtain. Curtain! Curtain! Curtain. The audience's attention must be snapped up, given a jolt. So, my distinguished collaborator, you often tell me how good you are. Try your hand ending this dismal adventure of a second act of ours.
My dear chap, simplicity itself. Come here, sit down.
Oh, goodness. Absolutely not.
Now then, I'm all for the quiet curtain. One of those charming, delicate things the French do so well, you know. Lightly sentimental, sophisticated, the smile behind the tear. The three friends sit down to breakfast. Audiences always like to see actors eating. The storm is over. The skies are still a little dark, but there is sunshine in the heart and all that sort of thing. Now, let this sink in for a bit. Everything very cozy and pleasant. Business of eating. We each have a glass of wine. For a moment, silence. Their thoughts are busy with what has occurred. Captain, and then you want a couple of smart lines spoken with something of a flourish. Oh, well, my young friend, today you have become a man.
Yes, I said that.
For always remember,
That sounds a bit cunning.
always remember that in affairs of the heart, it is not the first victory that makes us men, but the first defeats. To woman's treachery, which has made our child a man. Curtain.
Brother! Tame! Feeble! Nothing in the matter of a high note. Now, I'm not saying it's not pretty. Charming, even, but it lacks suspense. How would you do?
I? Feeling as I do now?
Give us your idea.
Very well. I shall give you my idea. We start from where Mansky gave that toast.
To woman's
Treachery. That's it. I'd say, no. I won't drink any toast.
effective.
That woman was not just an incident in my life. She was my first great passion. I promised to act as if nothing had happened, and I meant to keep that promise. But when I remember that I gave her my life, and that she whispers words of love to another man and kisses another man, that's such unbearable, burning torture. The only right solution is
No, not now. You can't think, boy.
let me go. I want to die. Now I am dead. Now am I fled. My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight.
You're on the moon.
Now die. Die. Die.
What the devil?
Die! Die.
What the devil are you doing?
Finishing the scene.
Very bad. Quite impossible. Now, I'm not saying that's not that for the end of a play, but very bad for the end of a second act. Now, I'm not saying the gallery might not like it, but think of the critics. They despise melodrama. No, what you want is suspense and a quick curtain.
And now I suppose you could show us how it really ought to be done.
Hello. Will you give me Miss Ilona Gonzalo, please?
What on earth?
Hello?
Hello, Ilona.
Yes, who is this speaking?
Don't you recognize my voice? This is Sandor Torai speaking.
Oh, how wonderful. Are you here then?
Yes, next door, room number 4.
What a perfectly delightful surprise.
Yes, we arrived here last night by car, all 3 of us.
You don't mean Albert, too?
Yes, and Mansky, if you think that worth mentioning. We brought you the finished script of the operetta.
Marvelous. That's something like a surprise.
We were so worried about waking you this hour, but I'm afraid I have something rather important to ask you. Can you come in here for a moment?
Well, this is a surprise, Sandor. Albert, this is a surprise. Oh, to think it's been
3 whole months.
3 whole months since we last saw each other. My, how brown you're looking. How young. Oh, Maxie! Oh, this is so sweet. You have no idea how much I've been longing to see you. When did you get here?
Just a minute, Ilona. Why, Mr. Almighty, won't you come in?
Good morning.
Fancy seeing you here after all these years.
Yes, passing through. I'm just passing through. You know, I was on my way to see the Count, and then they insisted on me staying. You know, the shooting party, and the concert, and they just wouldn't let me go.
And I was so surprised to see him.
Well, pardon me for interrupting what must have been a joyful reunion, but I'm afraid I have something rather important to say.
Sandor, nothing unpleasant, I hope.
Oh, yes. Extremely unpleasant. Please. Now, we arrived here last night, and just now we were sitting here having breakfast, we 3, weren't we?
Yes, sir.
Well, please, we were sitting here having breakfast. I must entreat you now to hear what I'm about to say. Don't lose your head.
Honestly, do you really need to?
Say,
Please! Now, what I'm about to say, and I shall not keep you long now, shall inevitably have a shattering effect upon the lives both private and professional of all 5 of us people. Now, I have asked myself, is it wise to speak? And I have answered myself, wise or not, it is inevitable. Ilona! I have a question to ask you. How's that for suspense? Curtain!
Gordon, check!
she? Darn it, check!
Coming, miss, coming!
There you are at last. Why are you so late?
I fell downstairs.
Well, it ought to have taken you long.
Well, you should have let me carry that, Miss Nell.
I couldn't wait. You are so slow.
Slow, but sure. When I was a little girl, my aunt used to say,
I don't want to hear about your aunt.
No, miss. Very few people do.
Have you got all the properties?
Props, miss, is the more professional expression.
I was using the more technical term. Well, properties or props. Have you got them?
Yes. Book,
Peach,
whip,
a scarf.
2 letters, and a pair of gloves.
Good. Oh dear, what a headache I'm getting.
What you want is an aspirin.
Have you an aspirin?
Nope.
You're a great help.
Well, thank you, miss. You know, you really shouldn't let yourself so worked up on these big nights. You worry.
How can I help worrying with all the responsibility there is on my shoulders?
What I always say is, never worry too much today. Things could be twice as bad tomorrow, and then you can worry twice as hard.
Does make me so nervous when people want to change the program at the last minute. First, Miss Abbott says she's going to sing, then she's going to act. Good evening, sir. Good evening. You are first in the field.
Good evening. The others will be along directly. They are blessing.
Wonderful shooting party today, sir. Capital sport, capital. There's nothing like a good brisk day in the open with the guns. What a color it's given you.
I wasn't there.
Oh, not there?
No. I've been in my room all day writing.
Pardon my curiosity, but may one ask what you were writing?
No one may not.
Excuse me, miss. I believe the gentleman does not wish to say what he was writing.
Oh, you're still here?
Yes, miss. Still here.
Then go away.
Very well. But really, I shouldn't worry, Miss Nell. Look on the bright side.
All very well for you. You have no responsibilities, and the guests give you big tips.
That is the bright side, miss.
A secretary's life is a dog's life, Mr. Almighty. Work, morning till night, and never a word of thanks. You are awfully silent, Mr. Almighty.
I sometimes find it soothing to be silent. You should try it yourself one of these days. I take it the concert begins directly after dinner?
Immediately following the serving of coffee.
And when does this play of ours come on?
Is the last item on the program, the place of honor. Sir?
Nothing.
Miss Saba tells me that no scenery is required, but 2 elegant chairs and 1 elegant table.
Is that an elegant table?
Well, really, no. But what can one expect? It is supposed to be in a garden? Oh, if only the scene had been an interior. There's some perfectly lovely furniture in the Count's room. Genuine Louis XV. Very elegant period Louis XV.
I don't care a damn. They're all the same to me. Louis the 15th, Louis the 14th, or Louis the 17th.
But there isn't a Louis XVII. And I've often wondered why. Why, I wondered, should there be a Louis XVI and a Louis XVIII, but not a Louis XVII?
Well, how should I know, huh? Ask a furniture dealer.
I did. I'm always asking furniture dealers, but they only know so far as Louis XVI. Whenever I say Louis XVII, they say, you mean Louis XVI. Then I say, no, I don't mean Louis XVI. I mean Louis XVII. And I'm afraid I'm talking a great deal, sir.
Oh, you've noticed that.
The fact is, Mr. Almighty, I'm all in a twitter.
Oh. Now, what have you got to be nervous about?
I'm always like this on these big nights. You see, I'm responsible for everything, and it's terribly wearing on the nerves. I'm the stage manager, property
Well, I'm as cheerful as any man could be whose brain has been addled all day by studying an infernal part.
But I thought you said you spent the day writing.
Yes, I always memorize part writing it out.
What energy, what enthusiasm. Have you a last part?
No, writing.
Dear, dear. You'll feel better when you hear the applause. We're great applauders here. We don't care how bad an actor is.
Thank you.
Pardon me, sir. I didn't mean it like that. Miss Zabel, please. Miss Zabel, please. Beginners, please.
Well, we all seem to be here.
Good evening, Miss Zabel. Good evening, good evening.
Well, we may as well begin.
No, I just well wait for Mr. Try. Seeing he is being so generous has offered his valuable assistance.
I'm sure he'll be here directly. Where is the prompter?
Present.
Here's the script.
I hope this extempore set meets with your approval. A little idea quite of my own.
Charming. Albert, you seem very quiet this evening.
Oh no. Not a bit. I'm a little tired, that's all. We had a rather long motor drive and I didn't sleep very well last night. Please don't think that... I'm afraid our friend the secretary is getting a little restive.
What on earth is the matter?
I don't have a Twitter.
Well, do simmer down. Albert, are you going to stay for rehearsal?
Yes, I thought that I would.
You'll be thoroughly bored. A silly little French piece. You'll be singing it after dinner. I should have thought that once would be enough.
Well, Mr. Tarai asked me to stay and help until he came back, and I promised that I would.
Just as you please. Well, can't we begin? Where are the props?
Nothing is ever missing when I'm the property master. They all are on the table.
Yours. Well, let's begin. Countess, that's me, discovered an armchair reading book. You're not on yet.
Do we go on now?
Don't ask so many questions. Yes, go on.
Curtain rises on a glorious garden, period Louis XV.
You don't have to read that.
I always have.
You only have to give actors the spoken lines.
Now, I never knew that. Now, that's very interesting.
Well, what on earth is the matter now?
I'm afraid Miss Mel isn't much of a prompt.
It's all right. I hold the book.
No! You mustn't.
Wow, what do you mean?
I won't have it.
Why not?
No doubt Miss Sabo means that it is beneath the dignity of such an important person. Please give me the book.
Oh, do stop fussing. Can't you see it's making them nervous?
Make them nervous? What about my nervousness?
I tell you, I will hold the book now, and you may do it for the performance. Does this suit you?
Oh, quite. Oh, perfectly.
You've hurt her feelings. You've insulted her.
Madam, I'm a secretary. I spend all my time receiving insults.
Well, let's begin. You're off. Countess discovered an armchair reading book.
What a silly...
What a silly story. Just like all novels.
What can I
What
do?
can I do to kill the time? The Count is always out riding. Paris seems very far away amidst these sleepy fields of Normandy.
Hoofbeats, turn off.
Hark! Could that be my husband? Surely he would offer to visit our old tenant on his chocolate wine.
Why do I frown? That, madame, you will learn, and speedily, as sure as my name is Count. As sure as my name is Count.
Maurice Duvalier.
As sure as my name is Count Maurice Duvalier de la Grande Contumace Saint-Emilion.
You frighten me, Maurice.
Oh, or is it your guilty conscience that frightens you, madame?
Traitress. Traitress? No doubt you suppose me a credulous imbecile,
Right.
whom it was simple to
No doubt you suppose me a credulous.
You thought that any story would do for me. You thought that I was fool enough to swallow anything. What? Shh. Oh, no doubt you suppose me a credulous fool.
Oh, give me the script.
Why aren't I prompting well?
No.
Nothing like being frank.
Don't take it to heart. Even I wasn't good enough for it.
Perhaps you'll tell me where I went wrong.
Don't ask so many questions. I'll take on this job.
Everybody is so rude.
From where you got off?
Traitors! You have deceived me. I have long had my suspicions that there was something of these rides with yours, with our neighbor, the Marquis Jean-Francois Genet de la Tour d'Argent. Day after day, for hours at a time, you have been seen riding with him on the road from Delegois-Sousson to Saint-Sulpice de la Grande Prometière, and slowly as that.
It's a lie! Who told you?
Silence, woman! I have now in my pocket the proof! Yes, madam, I have the proof! No doubt you supposing me a credulous imbecile. You thought I was fool enough to swallow anything. Mon Dieu, is there no gratitude in this world? When I met you, who were you? A nobody. Your father, the Brigadier General Pierre Chambon de la Second Chaumière Grombolet, fell in battle at Grand-Lagneur-sur-Marne, and you eked out a scanty living as a seamstress in your mother's home in the village of Saint Genevieve in the department of Siena at Ois. And then what happened? I gave you name, rank, and wealth such as you had never dreamed of. You became Madame la Comtesse Duvalier de la Grande Contumace Saint-Emilion. I bestowed on you not only my estates in Pavillon, Grand Amanois, but also my two castles in Challenges, de Court de la Ramane, and Guadeloupe, Pondamanciers, Duventerra, Asma-Matindes.
Don't stop! What's wrong?
It's these damn French names.
Well, I don't see what you do.
Well, surely you don't need them all.
They're in the script.
The map trying to memorize them. The titles with 6 hyphens in them and names of places with a dozen oxen, laws, and sirs, and damn it, they're all in my part. At least leave out the second castle.
Dear fellow, where is your sense of dramatic construction? If he had only given her one castle, the audience would think him perfectly justified in deceiving. If he had given her 3 castles, they would think him a purse-poor fool who did not deserve a faithful wife. No, 2 is the exact right amount. You can't teach Sardou when it comes to dialogue. Go on, please.
Madame, I gave you everything. And what return do I get? You betray me! Oh, yes, madam, you betray me! With our dear friend and nearest neighbor, the Marquis Jean-Francois Genet de la Tour d'Argent, Lord of Perigord, and Champion Challenges de la Court
This doesn't seem to be in the script here.
What is that? Well, I don't want to say any more French language because they're going to give me apoplexy.
Well, I'm always open to suggestions. What would you like to call it?
Perhaps Foch or Briand.
Perhaps Vinci. Oh. Go on, please.
smile which I will make to die upon your lips. Behold, madame! The brew!
Oh, gracious heaven! The peach!
Yes, madam, the peach! The first peach that ripened on the early cherished, lovely, blooming, richly bearing East Indian dwarf peach trees in my orchard in Devon-Wasserson, tu sais so peach de la Complimentière. The first peach that ripened on the lovingly cherished day in my garden at Seminois de la Pomme de Arpie, making a triumphant entry into the world, days ahead of any other peach in all of France. And then what happens? I go out riding. I am proceeding at a gentle trot. On the road from Devonpois to Saint-Sulpice de la Peninsula.
Along the high road.
Along the high road. And whom should I see there, tripping along, but Juliet, your maid. Yes, she betrays embarrassment at seeing me. She stammers and ties her apron strings in a knot. And so I ask her, where are you going? And then terrified, she bursts into tears. And she says, my lady sent me to the Marquis Jean-Francois
Right, that time it was in the spirit.
Why? I asked, why did your lady send you to the Marquis? And then suddenly, happening to look closer, I notice that she is trying to hide a little parcel from me. So I take it from her, I open it, and what do I find? That peach! Yes, madam, the king of peaches, the apple of my eye, my pride and joy, the last word in stoneless fruit, which I have guarded since birth like a baby sister. And wrapped around that glorious specimen of its kind, I find a letter. Yes, this letter. My beloved, this is the first peach that has ripened in France this year. I send it to you. Eat it reverently.
Are you trying to make me smell it?
I am. For as sure as you can deny your writing, you cannot deny your perfume. Or are you proposing to deny it?
No.
So you admit it?
Yes.
You sent him this peach?
Yes.
Oh, it's rank injustice. Well, I have to say the whole thing at the top of my voice, and then she just says, yes, no, yes.
Yes, I noticed that myself. These short, crisp speeches are characteristic of solitary women. Can't be helped. Go on, please.
So, madam, you take from me everything. Name, rank, wealth, estates, 2 castles, and then you go about the place sipping my most cherished fruit to your lover.
No.
You have the effrontery to tell me that the Marquis is not your lover.
Yes.
So you mean he is?
No.
So you mean he's not?
Yes.
Madame, I am a famous fruit grower, the leading horticulturist in all of France, and president of the Paris Peach Club. I know that no one would give this fruit without first giving the heart.
You consider conduct like mine despicable?
I do.
Good. Then I have one question to ask you. In the early spring of this year, there ripened in your orchard the first crop of white-hot cherries. To whom did you send those cherries?
To my mother, the Dowager la Comtesse du Verrier de la Grande Consommation
To your mother? Indeed. Then I have something to tell you. You are not the only one who has discovered an interesting letter. Smell that! Do you recognize the perfume?
What a situation! Sardou at his best. There's no one like him.
The perfume is that of Mademoiselle Nadine Camille Dansusa de Folie Bergère, whom you honor with your friendship and protection.
How did you get this letter?
Never mind. Letters are like sped arrows. You
Count of mine.
You see how your divinity writes of you. Go on.
That doddering old idiot of a count of mine sent me a basket of cherries. Did I tell you he was a famous fruit grower? He says these are the first cherries that have ripened in France this year, and he sends them to me with his love. Drop in this evening, darling, and we'll eat the old false cherries together. You're loving a million. P.S. Ring twice as usual.
You see, what you do to me, I do to you. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a peach for a cherry.
Oh, so be it.
Yes. Now, leave my garden. This very afternoon I go back to my mother's, I pack my boxes, but if you should speak with my maid, you would find that I asked her to stand about, to blush and stammer till you came by, and finally to give you that letter and the peach.
Oh, I must face it. I've lost.
You lost me.
Yvonne, don't say that. See how I beg your forgiveness on my knees. Overlook this one false step.
The idea, a count, an elderly count, groveling like that. All the same, you have touched me, so I will forgive you. But you are not to get off without punishment. Firstly, I forbid you to eat that peach.
My heavens, not that!
Yes. Secondly, I will go to Paris alone.
Yvonne, no!
Yes.
Oh,
Never mind. Either you trust me or you do not. If you trust me, I shall return. If not, not.
well, Yvonne, how long do you plan to stay in Paris?
A week.
No, Yvonne, no, I can't go on without you. I love you as the church steeple loves the cloud that settles above it and floats away at the first passing breeze. I can't go on living without you. Not a week, not a day, not an hour.
Just words.
But just one moment. What was that you said?
I beg your pardon.
Now, listen, please. We can't have these interruptions. Don't go pulling them up just when it goes to the sweet of it.
Oh, I can't wait to see how it ends. Will she leave him? Or will the memory of their past love prove too strong?
This is devilish.
Quiet, please. All right, better go on back to not a week, not a day, not an hour.
Not a week, not a day, not an hour.
Just words.
It's the truth. I'm crazy about you, and you have used me up and squeezed me like a lemon.
Samuel,
What is it?
you'll excuse me. I have something very urgent to say to Mr. Tarot. Do you hear what they're saying?
How do you mean do I hear what they are saying?
I mean, didn't those last lines sound familiar to you?
That's right. Now that you mention it, I did notice something, only I thought it was my fancy.
Come here. Samuel, I give you my word, those lines were syllable for syllable when we heard them say through the wall last night.
But, Joe, you're right. This is uncanny.
Go on with the rehearsal. They'll suspect something. I want to hear some more.
Well, let's get on. Now you want to throw me away.
And now you want to throw me away.
I don't want to throw you away. Come here and let me kiss that beautiful classic brow.
Great heavens!
What's the matter?
Listen, you two, they're saying word for word what we heard them say last night. Do you realize now what they were doing? Rehearsing, simply going through their lines.
I must admit, this has come upon me as a complete surprise. Really, I'm quite shaken.
Imitate me. If I can remain perfectly calm, you can.
He never recognized.
Mr. Try, what's going on?
Yes, what is all this discussion about?
Well, it's like this. Nancy says, and I'm inclined to agree with him, but for the actual performance, you'll have to dig up a classic brow from somewhere.
Dig up a classic brow.
You see, it's rather awkward. The script says, kiss that beautiful
Well,
Well, you'll have to get one from somewhere.
you mean that my classic brown will not be good enough?
That shriveled prune.
It has been so described.
In this play, yes, but you'll pardon my saying so that no woman of taste can say such a thing as be alive.
Which is so very well. Perhaps the property master will be able to supply me with a face.
My dear fellow.
Now let's...
Well, we've only got a few minutes more.
Please, no more interruptions.
Come here.
Yes, yes.
And let me kiss that beautiful classic brow.
That's not a kiss. That's a kiss.
Surely that line is a trifle vulgar.
Vulgar because it's spoken by a vulgar man.
The speaker is a cat.
But a Dover is bounded for all that. He's the sort of man who would say something like that. Don't you start trying to teach starting dialogue.
That's not a kiss. That's a tip.
Don't shout like that.
I will shout. I'm a lemon. I'm a squeezed lemon. And now you want to throw me away?
Please, what's the matter?
Nothing. I was merely saying to Adam that I think that word lemon is all wrong.
I think it's excellent. Absolutely in character. The speaker is a big lemon and peach man. Trying to remember that he goes to the orchard simply. He is an imbecile with practically no vocabulary. He is a bounder and a fool. Now, please from you, dear, and you're crying.
Please, don't cry. I can't bear it. You know how fond I am of you.
Those nights of love. Those flaming, wonderful nights. Have you forgotten them so completely?
Stop! Control yourself.
You asked me to control my love. When I look at that perfect shape, the rose flush of that skin, just to stroke it.
Hands off!
My hands, how round it is, how smooth, how velvety, and how fragrant.
Haven't we?
Won't you tell me a joke?
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
What are you so amused about?
Come, we're wasting time. Get on.
Yes, get on. I want to hear this. Round, smooth, velvety, and fragrant.
And you mustn't bite.
You mustn't bite.
I must. I'm so hungry. Well, I see I am nothing to you anymore.
For heaven's sake, I swear that no man
who has ever come into my life
has meant so much to me as you. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet, you are a man.
I think we might cut that last bit.
Why?
Well, it's a little too sexually explicit, don't you think? A little bit too on the nose. We must think of the audience, Miss Mel. Will there be any young girls there tonight?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh, then we must cut it. They may bring their parents. Suppose we say, I love you, even though you are only a poor imitation of a man. Go on with I suffer eternally.
I suffer eternally, like a sick horse. Okay, that's it now.
Why?
Well, just a line like that is so, it's terrible.
Well, we'll get into all that just now. It's just what a cattle raiser would say.
But he's a fruit raiser.
Cattle too. Cattle is a sideline.
Very well.
Don't look so pathetic. Come here. Kiss me, you donkey.
Donkey! Donkey! Horse and donkey! Really?
This is where I went out last night. How silly it seems now.
We're getting near the end now. They kiss here.
Never mind your kiss over.
Very well. I want you to remember that kiss forever.
Your kiss is revolting to me.
Oh, now really, that part ought to come out.
My dear fellow, we can't cut everything.
But a line like that it's so damn personal. The audience will love me.
It beats me why you ever chose a part like this.
Yes, it's no business of mine, but I can't say I understand it either. It doesn't hurt to cut things here or there, but it's the whole part. The character is a bounder and a fool.
The author must have loathed this fellow. You notice that, don't you, Samuel?
Of course I noticed it.
Do let's get to the end. Mademoiselle Emmeline describes you as an old fool.
And so I am.
And so I am.
You certainly are.
It's disgusting that a man should persecute a woman, and by playing on her sense of gratitude, seek to obtain a love that which she would never bestow as a free gift.
Dear Uncle Sandra, please promise me that you will never tell Ilona how shamefully I suspected her.
Don't be so childish.
You know, she would never speak to me again.
I'll never tell her.
No more interruptions, please.
I'm so sorry, my darling.
Go on.
Think of your wife. Think of your children.
My children!
A ridiculous old petticoat.
A ridiculous old petticoat chaser, that's what I am.
Oh, Mr. Almighty, not so tamely, please, for life once more.
A ridiculous old petticoat chaser, that's what I am.
Still, not quite strong enough. More gusto, more
A
sincerity.
ridiculous old petticoat chaser, that's what I am.
Once more, please.
A ridiculous old petticoat chaser, that's what I am.
Fine, that's it. Read it that way before.
Father, I promise you, I will never make myself obnoxious to this woman who loves another man. Never, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
Then, Maurice, I will be generous. I will not go to Paris, and you may eat the peach.
My peach! At last!
Curtain.
The end.
The end.
Oh, he really should have given his wife the peach.
I
It would have made it much prettier.
Here, Professor, where is your sense of character? This man is rotten to the core. He would never give his wife peaches.
An unsympathetic part, still, he played it well.
He did it.
Oh,
What's the matter with you?
he's eating the peach! He's eating the peach! I never dreamed he was going to eat the peach! Would you like to dash out and get another?
Well, how did you like me in that part?
Oh, darling, it was wonderful. So much better than all the Shakespeare put together.
I don't like Shakespeare.
The thing dates terribly. When did Sardou write it?
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Almighty, when did Sardou write this piece?
I should imagine it was his last work.
He must have been a very old man at the time. It's terrible. He probably wrote it just before he died.
Or just after. Hello, my dear. Would you mind if I spoke to you for just a moment about your part?
Oh, I should be so grateful. Go on, we shan't be a moment.
It beats me why an actor who always plays heroes picked a part like that for himself. He must be terribly fond of acting.
Now, what's the matter with you?
Problem?
I'm told you're going to take the Midnight Express directly after the ball.
And so I am.
I think you're wise. A very fruity train, highly thought of by connoisseurs. But, where are you going?
I'm off to study those infernal French names. But in spite of everything, thank you.
Sandor, you're an angel. Was it terribly difficult writing the play?
Oh, no, but that infernal peach stuck me for a while. Smooth, round, velvety, and fragrant. And you mustn't mind, there are very few things in this world that are smooth, round, velvety, and respectable.
Well, he was talking about my shoulder.
I thought he was talking about your forehead.
You're an old devil, that's what you are.
Oh, just as I thought. Now that everything's in hand again, everyone's a gentleman, and I'm an old devil, but still, I don't think that I am. I've saved a poor boy a heartache, and it's a negative kindness, but is there one that's better? On the whole, I'm rather pleased with myself. Somewhere out there's a little old woman staring at me. Probably from hell. Still, she seems satisfied too. You know, it's unfortunate. I will always be unfortunate.
Poor old Trice feeling awfully sore about all this. He had a wonderful scheme for bringing you two together based on what he calls psychology. He's furious because it won't be needed now.
Shh. Alona may hear you. Let's drop the subject.
Dinner is served.
So, my friend, it comes down to this. There are many clever writers, but the most successful of them all is still Old Man Life himself.
That's because he doesn't have to collaborate with you.
All right, my collaborator, you have shown us how to begin a play, how to end an act, but you have not shown us how to properly end the thing.
My dear fellow, when you get the rest of the parts right, the ending simply falls into place.